is he really like a father? Doesn't look like a father to me, but unless you're talking about the priest father. But anyway, Kasumi was filling my ears with that nonsense during our way back to the apartment, and wouldn't stop even after we had arrived.
ちょっと頼りないし変人っぽいけど、なんか愛を感じるじゃない？私結構羨ましいな。
Love? Where did that even come from? Kasumi envying others and even calling someone a father? You didn't hear that every day? She lost her own father. That explains it. As for me, I didn't have parents. Yep. So we kinda had this unspoken agreement not to bring the topic up.
レンはどう思う？
Well, he didn't have his parents around with him when he was born, so I found myself at a loss for words.
いいんじゃないか？仲良さそうで。
Okay, that's a fair enough answer.
だよね。
It felt a bit odd seeing Kasumi smile as if she was talking about herself. Or maybe I was the jerk for being this perplexed by it. Despite having no blood relation whatsoever, Himuro, sister Lisa, and father Trifa seemed like a genuine family, which was a wonderful thing, all things considered. No wonder Kasumi admired them. Like a family, right? I was the weird one here. Well, it's understandable since you didn't have your parents.
何？どうかした？
After reassuring her that I was just fine, I began to change my mind. This definitely didn't come up all that often, but if Kasumi wanted to discuss the topic, there was really no reason for me to object. After all, just like I had told Father Trifa, I didn't feel a thing for my parents.
で、お前はホームシックにでもかかったのか？
ちょっとね。レンはどう？うちのお母さんに会いたい？
Well, maybe during the holidays?
あの人、俺を女装させようとするから苦手だ。
What? That happened? Okay, that's really awkward.
そういや、そうだったね。
Yeah, I had no parents, no relatives either. No relatives either. I was taken in by a friend of my dad, Kasumi's father, and so I have been freeloading off the Ayase family ever since. In that sense, Kasumi and I were more like a brother and his older sister than childhood friends. She insisted it was the other way around, but after some serious consideration, I concluded I didn't need an older sister like that. Besides, my birthday came before hers, so I'm supposed to be the older one. As for financial troubles, I have been told that I had nothing to worry about thanks to my family's inheritance. Oh, so you're actually a rich boy? With the exception of the minimum amount for living expenses, I could more or less use it as I saw fit. I was grateful to the family. Kasumi included, of course.
でねでね、私らが小さい時、一度お父さんがレンを正式な養子にしようとしたことがあるんだって。
But why didn't he?
でもそれ、お母さんが大反対して、結局お流れになっちゃったらしいんだ。
Because...
なんでと思う？
Because Ren is not a girl.
いや。
Yeah.
なんだよ。
Smiling, Kasumi drew her face closer to mine. Contrary to what I was expecting her to say though.
そんなことしたら、かすみとレンが結婚できなくなっちゃうでしょ。
Oh yeah, that too. Otherwise there wouldn't be a route for Kasumi, right? Boom. She dropped that bomb so hard I could almost literally hear it. Wait.
確か三親等以内の血族じゃない限り養子だろうがなんだろうが OK じゃなかったか？
As they're at least 3 times removed from your side of the family? I don't know about that.
そうなの？詳しいんだね、レン。調べたの？
What was with that ungodly wicked smile?
どうしてレンはそんなに詳しかったりするのかな？
Oh, I see where you're getting at. Because yeah, I plan to marry you. Yes.
常識の範疇。
I don't think it's in the realm of common knowledge, though. I didn't know this either, no.
本当に？私とお母さんは知らなかったよ。
Yeah.
ねえ、な
そういう漫画とか結構あるだろ。
Really?
レン、あんまり漫画読まないじゃん。
Kasumi began to sidle up to me like a slug. It was more off-putting than scary, honestly.
私たち実は言い名付けだったのよ。
Oh, engaged, huh? Since when though?
ね
I mean, Ren's too embarrassed to say that.
え、ねえね
I gave her a karate chop on instinct.
え。いきなり何してくれんのよ。
Well, that's what tsunderes do. Ren is clearly a tsundere.
不気味な動きで近寄ってこないでくれ、知女。
Shivian.
地上
Shivian? Oh, you mean like deviant and then Shivian? Okay. Shivian. A woman who sexually harasses a man. Does this word actually exist? I have to Google it up.
地上地上地上の愛と平和を守るため。
Are you trying to console yourself, Kasumi?
お前頭大丈夫か？
うわあ、うさい。おでこ触るな、熱なんかない。っていうかあれでしょ、あんた照れてるからいつもそんなことばっか言うんでしょ。ガキ。
Well, you can't blame a tsundere.
ロボトミー手術を受けてくれ、バカスミ。
What? Tsumi lobotomy.
ちょっとそれ子供の時にキンクステしたあだ名じゃない。このレンタン
Pen.
レンタン
Oh, tan. Okay. But here you use pen. I guess it works too. But tan, you know, tan, I think, because in Japanese, tan means something like chibi, right? Yeah.
萌えキャラみたいに呼ぶな。
Yeah. Cutesy mascot, all that.
レンタンはどうしてそんなに素直じゃないかな。
君はどうしてそんなにおまぬけなんだ？
Okay.
なに
Well, they continue arguing till the end of the night. One stupid exchange after another, pointless conversation after pointless conversation. A worthless daily exchange, cheap like garbage. A series of ever unchanging mundane events, the kind you would have a hard time even remembering the next day. But it's things like this that makes life fun, right? Why did I never reflect upon that day, that instant, more deeply? Oh, foreshadowing. I was careless. I didn't take it seriously. I thought that I understood that nothing lasted forever, that something being finite meant that its end could come at any time, that irreplaceably previous garbage of her daily life Ren Fujii wished to protect to the point of parting ways with his best friend. Oh my god. Came to an end that night. Oh, alright. Finally, after I mean, I think so many episodes of like nothing has been happening except just some events happening behind the scenes, all that. But it looks like the mundane activity is finally going to come to an end, right? So this irreplaceably parting ways, okay, wish to protect is going to come to an end. Alright, so we're finally getting down to business. After quite a while, it took quite a while. Because I'm just at this point I'm just really anticipating something exciting to happen, because so far it's a bit of a slow build up, yes, but finally we're coming to an important point in the story. Now then, let the curtains rise on tonight's grand guignol. Okay, who's that? And that's a very huge full moon. At first, I couldn't understand what was going on. What? What happened? Why is he suddenly alone in the middle of the night? Well, what happened to me? I was in my room just a few moments ago. So why was I suddenly all alone in a place like this? Oh. I glanced around my surroundings, the chaos in my mind never once subsiding. I was outside, no question about that. Was this some kind of a prank? I didn't get so drunk that my memories blanked out, did I? That couldn't have been the case.
どういうことだ?
How did this happen? I didn't know. It wasn't that difficult to recall everything that had happened up until this point. I left the church, went home, took a bath, and went to bed. I might have had a chat with Kasumi too, but it probably wasn't anything important knowing her. Nothing that would help me here at any rate. The last thing I remembered was going to bed. That was the important bit. It meant that this was all a dream, not reality, but it felt so real. A dream? But even if I assumed that to be true, there was still something I couldn't quite explain. Now, if you want to find out whether this is a dream or not, go pinch yourself. Yeah, the classic trick. Why wasn't this that dream? Over the past few days, I had been having the exact same dream of that twilight shawl, that nightmare at the guillotine. True, if I had never had that dream ever again, I could count myself lucky, but the sudden change still left me feeling like something was off, because this is not a dream. The moon loomed high above, showering me with frozen blue light. I was alone, like a dancer in the spotlight. This was strange. This was strange. Something felt off. Though I was conscious, I couldn't perceive anything. It was a vague, floating feeling, like I was nothing more than an eyeball. That could be attributed to the nature of dreams, though. I couldn't control myself properly. Although I could detect a dull pain hammering away at my brain, I still felt out of it to the point of wanting to throw up. I would have been hard-pressed to call it a very comfortable feeling. In other words, this really was yet another dream. The details of it might have changed, but it remained just as unpleasant as before. Well, I don't know about that. I began to stagger as I felt a sense of intoxication wash over me. Actually, perhaps it would be better to say I was already walking. I certainly wasn't doing it consciously, and the sensation of my feet pressing against the earth felt incredibly vague. All I had left was my vision and this faint, dull headache. And was this a heartbeat? It sounded like it was coming from far off, but I could definitely hear someone's heartbeat. It wasn't mine. For some reason, that was all I knew, as well as the fact that it was slowly, yet steadily getting closer. Oh my god, what happened? Is that Ren? What happened? A sharp burning pain flared up in my neck. Oh my god, not the cutting off his neck again. Crap. The word pain didn't even begin to describe it. It felt like I was being strangled by a string of molten hot barbed wire. And as the pain grew more intense, so did the heartbeat draw closer and closer. A never-ceasing sound, the sensation of another heartbeat in the back of my head. What the hell was this? I was getting strangled. I couldn't breathe. The pain was only growing more and more intense. Succumbing to strangulation was all too easy. I could feel that thing biting into the flesh of my neck. It was trying to twist my neck. It was all too incomprehensible. What did I do to deserve this? Could it be that I was about to become the 8th victim? Shit. The abrupt pain, akin to having my very bones scraped off, made me let out a violent howl of agony. I wasn't bleeding, but I could tell that my neck and torso were held together by nothing but one last bone. Shit! Creak. I heard my bones being whittled down, little by little. The other heartbeat in my skull, I could feel it being activated. I found myself assailed by a feeling of discomfort unlike any I had ever experienced before. Almost like I was a second skin being shed by another creature while I still lived. ... What? Someone speaking to me? An ever so brief whisper echoed in my ears. Okay, ... I couldn't make out what it was saying. Not a word. I had already passed my threshold of pain. I was being driven into a situation where all I wanted to do was writhe on the ground. I was in no condition to properly make out some ever audible noise of a voice. Shit. It sounds really painful. As the creaking in my neck grew even more intense, my vision was abruptly cut off with the grace of a sudden blackout. A sound echoed across the darkness. I found myself freshly enveloped by... Hurry. Who said that? Hurry! 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 The sound drilling into my skull began to merge with the noise, gradually transforming into something I could make out as human speech. A familiar requiem I had heard somewhere before. Is it that girl? In her dreams? I mean in his dreams? Or it is her? Disi la Soviet seclam in favila, teste David cum sibila, whatever that means. Although the only thing I know is Disi, yeah. Quantos tremo es futurus, quando judes es venturus, cunta stricte discussurus. Well, at least I know this strict and this is discussion or something. Oh no, crap. Tuba mirum spagen sonam, persipautra regionam, cogat omnes ante tronam, mos stupidit et natura, cam resurgat creatura, judicanti responsura, liber scriptus proferator, in quo totum continetur, unde mundus judicator. If I pronounce that correctly, anyway. Judex ergo cum sedebit, qui latet apparebit, nil in autumn remanebit. It's like I'm reciting a poem right here. Quid sam miser tunditurus, quem patronum rogaturus, convis justus sit securus, res tremende majestatis, qui salvando salvas gratis, salva me, fordus pietatis, recorregis supie, quotsam cosa tuae vae, ne me perdas illadi, quaerens me sedisti lassus. Oh my god, I don't think I could read all this. Cannot. Let's just take a quick look. Okay, anyway, this is a bunch of nonsense, so I'm not gonna read everything. Not like I understand any of this anyway. My skull split, my head severed. The string of unintelligible words that poured forth from within jolted through my mind, robbing it of sanity. To oppose the raging stream of my pain, I bet those words were recited by the girl. Still struggling. Let go of the hand known as the axis of reason, desperately clinging to me. Okay. And thus my head was severed. So, I mean, I have no words. I mean, if that's reality, then he's dead. But I don't think he's dead. So maybe he's dead in his dream or something like that. The world had turned inside out. Everything was black. I'm dead. And wait. Suddenly the whole scenery turned kind of reddish. The moon turned kind of bloody. There was no pain, no nausea. That feeling of intoxication began to fade, as all my senses, sight and hearing included, were completely restored. What the hell was that? Who said that? As everything from the neck up had been replaced, it would only be natural for the previous hits in discomfort to vanish as well. The myriad sensations, all strained, sharpened to the limit. And although there was a distinct sense of aloofness and ambiguity in its operation, the head had the body under control. The hell, man? Its movements remained stiff, a sway of the ego, perhaps. Yet Ren Fujii's influence was already but an insignificant speck of dust, hardly ever worth viewing as a problem. It would soon grow accustomed to it. It knew him better than anyone, guaranteeing utmost affinity. Wait, so like someone else replaced him as the new vessel or something like that? The two of them were as caduceus, two in one, two sides of the same coin, yin and yang. Ah, how truly romantic. What would man call this? if not the red string of fate itself. The head began to cackle, its body staggering onwards with the unsteady step of a sleepwalker. Where to? That hardly needed to be said. To its prey, the hunter cat dog who ended up slaughtered. It could have even been a cat or a dog for all it cared. So long as the prey had blood, life, and was worthy to be cut down, the hunter did not discriminate. So it did happen, the murder did happen. But that means, how did Ren get resurrected, I wonder? All you needed was a victim large enough to be fit for a massacre to help satisfy these welling destructive urges. Had there been a zoo nearby, and an elephant or a giraffe would have likely sufficed. However, that was not the case. As such, it needed to hunt for something else. Something that hardly needed to be explained. Indeed, humans. What the hell was that voice? Sounds like a man's. That sounds a bit girly. Sumimasen. What the heck? A voice came pouring out. Oh my god, who's that speaking? Started. A woman in her mid-20s turned around. Her gaudy makeup and suit left quite the impression, pointing towards a career in perhaps the nighttime entertainment business. Okay. The head continued to speak. Like, can I see your face now? It produced a smile, or to calm itself, to coax, to persuade its preferred target. In times like this, presenting a soft, kind, and gentle expression worked as the most effective cover. True, you have to be nice first, then after that, you fool them. The woman made a troubled smile, but ultimately agreed to the head's request. Despite voicing a grumble or two, her voice rang with a hint of relief. She was probably frightened. Ah, what an idiot. Just as the head formulated that thought. Oh my god. Not even the assailant themselves could tell or remember which direction it came from. All they saw was the lightning-fast swoop of the blade. Its after-image burned into their eyes. The woman was decapitated, her head sent flying into the air. Wait, is this actually Ren doing it? But it's like Ren was separated and then replaced by someone else, and then that someone else in Ren's body killed this woman. This is just me speculating, but what the hell, man? It didn't end there. Her torso was sliced into 5 pieces before the head even hit the ground, as if one slash wasn't enough. She displayed not a shred of resistance. The axe seemed a magic trick of sorts, but one that could never be undone. The woman's body split into pieces, her various parts scattering like falling Jenga blocks. Man. The freshly severed head fell on the still spinning hand with a thumb, the same somewhat stiff smile eternally frozen on its lips. It then bounced into the air one more time. Man, before being sliced in two, right down the middle. The woman's face split open, scattering blood and brain as it burst like cheap fireworks. A fierce cackle reverberated in the area, piercing the very heavens. I can't even make out whether this is a male voice or a female voice. It sounds a bit male, but it also has that girly voice. Its spine creaked, perhaps due to joy, dread, or a mix of both. The creeping sensation of a myriad crawling worms shook his jaw, never once stopping. I guess this is one reason why I like this visual novel. That it's kind of creepy. Well, just saying, I am a bit of a masochist. Yeah, but in a good way. The hunter's fits of laughter filled the seas, a multitude of thoughts diffusing throughout its head, a feeling akin to the taste of cheap drugs, a gut-wrenching wave of chaotic psychedelic tension, wonderful beyond description. It felt so good, everything from the head up switched on its own. Whoosh! Whoosh! How many whoosh? The word flashed like a strobe light at the neck-breakingly fast switch. To get a clear idea of what that felt like, one had simply to take a roller coaster, a free fall, and whatever they called that spinning coffee cup writing, and put them all together. The thrill of murder. Wait, you compare the thrill of murder to the thrill of a roller coaster? The joy of robbing one of life, the intoxication of absolute carnage seeping into the very core of the hunter's being. The lamps and garbage cans within 10 meters had split apart, much like the woman. Met with its own sheer over-enthusiasm, the hunter laughed. As such, it wanted, it yearned to play a white iron? Oh. Alas, you mustn't. You appear they have caught wind of this. The world shut down with a click. Not unlike death. Like that woman from a moment before, whose very existence was denied and expunged. Like that dream of being beheaded by a guillotine. That exact same sensation. So I have a feeling this hunter is actually Ren, but it's like replaced by another spirit or something like that. So this was yet another dream, yet it isn't. Sleep, do not awaken. You must not. What? Wake. You must not wake up. But I guess he did. Okay, there's a long ass line. Okay, now then, the beasts approach. Retreat or advance? Make your choice. So do I have to make my choice now? Okay, and so after God knows how much time, I finally came to my senses, only to find myself gazing up at the moon. So it's a reality. Then he saw his hands filled with blood, and then in front of him, the woman sliced into pieces, to nothingness, almost nothingness, something like that. The round, perfectly circular shape of the moon, like a hole bored into the sky. The cold night air sent a shiver down my spine, feeling almost like it came pouring out from that very hole. Where was I? And what was I doing here all by myself? I didn't really know, nor did I remember anything for that matter. All I recalled was falling on my ass and spacing out like some idiot. Right, I had a dream. I couldn't recall the details, but I knew it was quite an unpleasant, ominous and terrifying, or perhaps enjoyable, dream. If you had a dream, you wouldn't be like, sitting here looking at the full moon. Yeah, you wouldn't be outside in the first place. At least that was what it felt like. Why had I been staring at the moon this whole time without budging my eyes or my body? How odd of me to fixate on that. It wasn't like I really wanted to look at the moon, but it seemed to attract me precisely because I didn't want to see that. The moon was simply a convenient distraction from the bloody scene that lies before you, right? Almost as if I was unconsciously clinging to it, trying to escape my surroundings. Why was something like that here? I didn't want to think about why this wet, sticky liquid on the ground was there. Yep, caught it. I finally looked down. Shit. My gaze fell upon a sea of blood, as well as chunks of meat and excrement that seemed like they were chucked out of a bucket. Remains of a human body lay scattered as far as the eye could see, mutilated beyond recognition, And now he's going to be accused of murder, damn it. Better, like... Who's going to save him, I wonder? Arms severed at the elbow, legs still standing up from the shins down. A torso cut into round slices with his intestines spilling out like spaghetti. And just as I had feared, the body itself had nothing from the neck up. Nothing from the neck up. It's headless. A woman's head, cleaved vertically, floated in the middle of a dead puddle of blood, facing the ground, eyes fixed on me in a glare. Shit. Now shit starts to get real. White bone, pink entrails, yellow fat, red muscles, grey brain, dull eyes, light brown hair. The putrid stench of blood and death lingering about those grisly remains, even emitting steam in the cold night air, violated my nasal cavities with merciless intensity. Yeah, it would feel like vomiting, you know, all these things. Crap. What was all this doing here? I felt like a completely fucking idiot for only thinking about this now. I could remember, though only partially, what his body used to look like, the kind of face it made, as well as how she was killed. I vomited with enough force to make me feel like my innards were being turned inside out. Innards. The smell of vomit mixed in with the stench of blood. My stomach cramped under the wintry moonlight, no doubt a result of the blood that looked nearly like a veil of crimson mist. This wasn't a dream. Yeah, it's a reality. This wasn't a dream. This wasn't a dream. This wasn't a dream. This cold, this heat, this stench, these images, they were all... Oh, here we go. Didn't you, Wilhelm? Who's Wilhelm? I felt completely shocked, more by the action I took, rather than the abrupt voice that prompted me to do it. Just how many meters did I jump back despite being on all fours? Oh, it's this guy, Wilhelm. Ah, that Specs guy. Here we go. A man I had never seen before greeted me with a jovial smile. If he was standing where I had been until a moment ago, it meant that I must have jumped back about 10 meters back. The man spoke up in a calm voice, paying no heed to the mutilated corpse by his feet. He clearly harbored not a shred of respect for the dead, casually trampling on the woman's sliced face like it was no more than an empty can. Seeing that, a difficult to describe chill rushed through my entire body. The beast's approach. Didn't someone say that moments before I regained consciousness? So this is one of the beasts? Okay. This was bad. Really bad. Nerve cells all throughout my body began to sound their equivalent of an emergency siren, blowing clean away all trivial bafflements that came with seeing a dead body, killing someone, or wondering what I was even doing here in the first place. Before me towered a colossal trap. It would have been simple to identify it as a beast of prey. No, a better way to describe it would be an otherworldly kind of pressure, the dread of some mysterious, inhuman abomination. Such an abruptly materialized source of pure wickedness evicted all potential thoughts from my mind. This guy was not normal. He's a spirit. Some otherworldly being, yes? He was not human. Even subhuman few can understand, alright? The man took a step towards me. The emergency alarm in my mind proceeded to kick it up a notch. It was a hunch similar to base instinct. It was telling me to run. Otherwise I would be devoured. My body moved unconsciously. I jumped back just as fast as I did earlier. No, even faster than that, with the intention of getting out of here right away. It's like his true powers have awakened or something like that, Ren's. However... Oh, Rusalka, oh my god. I mean, when we first saw Rusalka, she looked kind of like menacing, but this face, oh my god, this face looks so cute. Some of the move. Rusalka. Yeah, it's Rusalka and Wilhelm. That attempt was blocked by a woman standing behind me. This was getting ridiculous. I poured all I had into fleeing this vicious sink or swim situation. Even if there were any obstacles, I had enough force to mow down pretty much anything in my path. So why? Oh my god, acting cute. Damn you. What the? Why couldn't I break through this fragile looking woman? How the hell was she holding me down with arms that should have honestly broken like a few twigs the moment I hit her? All she did was place her hand lightly upon my chest, yet that alone rendered me completely paralyzed. I felt an unbelievably heavy pressure. Looks can be deceiving, boy. Almost like there were over 100 people packed beneath her skin. They? Huh. Oh, now the look on Rusalka's face. Huh. Smirking, the pale man shifted his gaze to look at me. He scoffed, ridiculing my pointless attempt at trying to escape him. A hopelessly terrifying sense of sheer inhumanity. Abnormality to the point of being laughable. These two were just like that. They killed people without any display of humanity, devouring others to escalate themselves to a position transcending mankind. Yep, I caught it. Ren is actually Zarathustra. Because I think previously this name has been mentioned a couple of times. So then it then occurred to me that yeah, Ren is Zarathustra. Yeah. But just what exactly is the Zarathustra other than the fact that Ren is Zarathustra? Or maybe it's like another spirit. Yeah, I also kind of thought that yeah, Zarathustra is Mercurius' substitute. So yeah, I kind of had that idea too. Yeah, Malus is Rusalka's alternate name, right? It's actually the official name for the Obsidian Round Table. Strike while the irons, yeah, it's while the irons cold. Yes, cold. Damn. My thoughts were reduced to a jumble just by having them near me. I felt like I could pass out any second now. I could smell an unnaturally dense mixture of blood, decay, and death. I was this close to losing it. Simply being in the center of their attention was going to crush me if this kept going. Anyway, I had to do something. Even if my body was paralyzed, I needed to at least speak up so I could free myself from their grip. Yeah, I think maybe Zarathustra is like also the official name, but Zarathustra is not part of the, yeah, obviously not part of the round table, so unless this Ren is like the reincarnation of Zarathustra, probably, yeah. Rusalka. Oh my god. She's getting Don't tell me she's an yandere or a pervert. She's a pervert. Leaving my chair as the woman's fingers slid up to my neck. Well, not that he remembered. She referred to the mutilated corpse of the woman lying scattered on the pavement, asking me if I was responsible. Not clean at all. I think if I remember correctly from the previous scenes, is that these two hate Mercurius and that blonde-haired leader a lot, right? So they like want to. So that's why this guy ran as Mercurius' substitute. Yeah, probably they want to kill this substitute or something like that. I think so, if I remember correctly. What's Anenabe anyway? Sorry. Anyway, what the hell are these guys talking about? It all sounded like gibberish to me. Besides, did I really kill someone here? Well, your hand's bloody and all, so there was a body right in front of me. I retained memories of the moment of her death. But was that really me? I was neither trying to flee from reality, nor attempting to shift the blame. Rather, I just... I saw it. I did. But I couldn't say for certain I was the one who did it. When I gave the answer... Oh. What now? Why you're two smiling? Oh my god, those maniacal laughs. Maniacal, yeah. Maniacal laughter poured out of the two like water from a broken faucet. Their sneers like a lump of malice, and an aggregation of discord that threatened to drive one mad, to destroy one's sanity just by listening. And sheer wretchedness made me sick. Theirs was no laugh of any ordinary human. That much I could attest to with certainty. But I think it's actually him, just that he doesn't remember, The man walked right up to me, his shoulders still trembling from laughter. His eyes betrayed no sense of laughter though. I got goosebumps all over. Just see how my body responds. What are you going to do? Punch Ren? Judging from his pose. Oh my god. His simple kick to the stomach sent me flying like a piece of cardboard. What the hell? That seemingly light kick nearly killed me. I must have broken half my ribs. Oh, so they actually don't believe him. He stomped on my left shoulder right as I attempted to sit up, causing my joints to break with a creaking sound. So I guess Anenabe is something like a weapon? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, most likely. Anenabe, yeah, it's a weapon. And then how are you connected to that shipwreck Mercurius? How will you know? Like you two. My vision flickered from the pain. I couldn't even scream. By contrast, the man's voice remained endlessly frivolous.
俺が相手してるうちに吐かねえと、お前あっちのバカ女に本格的なの食らわされっつぁ。
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I think she's much stronger than Wilhelm.
ちょっと失礼ね。バカって何よ。
バカで何よ。
いいわよ。じゃあ手伝ってあげないんだから。あなたもたまには繊細な仕事をしてみるのね。
Okay.
頭さえ残ってれば最悪なんとかなるんだしさ。
Leave the head. Okay.
だそうだぜ。
It broke. Or perhaps it was dislocated. I couldn't move my left arm from the shoulder down. I grabbed the man's ankle with my right hand out of pure reflex. I attempted pouring as much strength into my grip as possible, but he wasn't budging an inch. Seriously? The man lifted me into the air using only his leg, then connected it into a spin kick without missing a beat. It was enough to send me flying 7 or 8 meters, to the fence overlooking the water. Ouch. This was no laughing matter. He was seriously going to kill me if this kept up. I had to do something to get away. Oh no. His tone mocked me, like he had just read my mind. He was right though. That wouldn't do me any good. Then what else was I to... But he really doesn't know a damn thing. You do, like seriously. The man's kick crashed into the iron fence beside me, bending his bars in the process. I remained silent, but what else was I gonna do? How was I supposed to reply when I had no answer to give him? Was I going to die here? Crushed without rhyme or reason in a situation beyond my comprehension? I didn't want that. No way was I gonna accept an outcome like that. I felt it meaningless to explain and justify myself to an opponent I couldn't reason with. Likewise, I couldn't just run away from him either. Then what was I to do? Words and running wouldn't do me any good. So try to imagine this Anna Bay or something. So what other methods will help me break through the deadlock of this irrational, unreasonable situation? Well... A colour of boredom seeped into the man's tone as he threw a fierce punch my way, almost as if to say that he was done playing torturer. His bloodlust was near palpable. I felt death itself approaching. I could instinctively tell that I would die the moment that fist crashed into me, and then what's with this slash though? I no longer had any other choice. I saw a body earlier. Maybe I was the one who killed her, or maybe I wasn't. Regardless of the truth, that horrific image had been permanently burned into my retina, refusing to leave. As such, I had but one thing on my mind, that I did not wish to end up that way. A selfish, greedy and wretched attachment to life. That alone stilled my conviction, made it fiercer than anything else. Like hell I'll be killed, like hell I'll be broken here. I had to move, dodge, struggle, anything. If I wanted to leave, if I wished to avoid death, I had but one thing to do. Because I was not supposed to die in a place like this to begin with. Found it in yourself to act. This one must be like the girl talking to him in, I don't know. In that case, allow me to give you some advice. Out of all the current fangs, that man, Bei, is amongst the fiercest. Oh, you mean the madam? Not madam. That guy with the specs. Struggle all you wish, but mortal skill alone shan't defeat him. Oh, what? The man's arm pierced the bench, the iron fence, and even part of the pavement. Drawing him back, he flashed a smile. After rolling away from him to gain some distance, I rose back onto my feet. Oh, how shall you proceed, Zarathustra? Shall you acquire my Awic kit and test his prowess on him? So that is his Anape or something. Awic kit. Should you retreat or advance? I implore you to bless me with the light of the unforeseen. Here we go. I felt my head pounding, making me think I was about ready to faint at any moment. My semicircular canals rang from the shock like an explosion that happened right next to me, knocking off my sense of balance. But yeah, you did, Ren. Good job. Now you have to fight. The force of that punch, as well as the ones before it, were no laughing matter. Yet they weren't fast enough to make dodging them completely impossible. So long as I kept myself from freezing in terror, I could manage. Now that things have come to this was all I could do. More like it. The ivory man of white hair faced me again with a smirk, decorating his lips. He would likely kill me in an instant if I tried to make a run for it, which meant that my best chance here was to try and create an opening. I was hurting all over, but this still paled in comparison to my fight with Shirou. It was hardly impossible. I had to fight, and successfully break through. It was the only way. Very well, then act according to your heart's desire. Should you deem it necessary to determine the difference between your strengths. Alright? Oh, so it'll be a 1v1. Okay, a fight's about to break out.